As roguelites get completely out of control fast. Astral Ascent is a fast-paced 2D action roguelike with beautiful pixel art where you can chain spell into insane combos, experiment with builds every run. You pick a hero and explore the garden, an astral prison guarded by 12 powerful bosses known as the Zodiacs and their leader. Challenge them with dozens of unique spells, interact with unique characters by your side to learn more about this astral prison and its residents in their roguelike with lightning-fast combat. If you're a fan of fast-paced gameplay, flashy combos, and that feeling of slowly turning into an unstoppable force as your build comes together, then this action roguelike is going to click with you almost immediately. The combat rewards aggression, experimentation, chaining abilities in ways that can quickly snowball into total screen chaos in the best way possible. But on the other hand, if you prefer slower gameplay where every move needs to be carefully timed and you're focused on patience, spacing, and precision in every encounter, this might not fully land for you. This game can get hectic and sometimes it leans more into overwhelming action than careful decision making. It really comes down to what you enjoy more: controlled deliberate combat or fast explosive gameplay where things can spiral out of control in seconds. The core loop of this game is simple. Clear rooms to gain rewards, fight enemies with unique designs and attack patterns, collect new spells, and make your way to the end of the level to fight one of 3 Zodiacs. Before starting a run, you'll spawn at the hub area. The hub area serves as the central safe base of operation in Astral Ascent, where players prepare for runs, spend meta currency on permanent upgrades, unlock new spells and other things, swap characters, interact with NPCs for story development, and manage multiplayer sessions. Sadly, this game only has local 2-player co-op, but I would love to see online multiplayer one day in the future. The base roster features a handful of distinct characters, each offering a different approach to combat, with more available through DLC. Some characters are built for fast, close-range aggression, focusing on speed, mobility, and chaining quick attacks to stay constantly on the offensive. Others lean into slower, heavier hits, rewarding timing and deliberate decision-making to land powerful, high-impact abilities. The combat in this game is smooth, like buttery smooth. Combat is fast, responsive, and combo driven. Each character has a unique moveset and personal ability that defines their playstyle. Using set ability is great for following up from combos or unleashing devastating attacks to overwhelm your enemies. Spells that you find along the way can interact in crazy ways, causing cool chain effects, amplifying damage, and overall screen chaos. Like, seriously, what is happening here? You can even take them to the next level by finding gamuts and aura, powerful modifiers and passive abilities that further enhance your spell power and synergies. Spells can also have certain elemental attributes attached to them. Matching elemental spells with the correct gamuts in Astral Ascent creates elemental affinity, which primarily boosts the spell damage and strengthens its elemental effects. Rooms can be broken down into 3 types: fight rooms, exploration rooms, and special rooms. Fight rooms are self-explanatory. You're locked in an enclosed area, and the only way out is to defeat all of the enemies. Once that is done, you're free to move on to the next room. Exploration rooms are a little different. Your goal is to find the exit, traverse the randomized area while finding enemies and discovering secrets to proceed. You'll get all kinds of rewards for clearing these areas, but the more common rewards you'll see will be keys, stars, and quartz. While in Exploration Room, you'll come across locked chests that require a certain number of keys to open. When open, you can choose between upgrading your base stats or spells. We'll talk more about stars and quartz a little later. Last of the 3 rooms, special rooms, not called that, but that's what I'm calling these areas, are rooms that provide a unique service, such as rest rooms, passive abilities, mini bosses, and much more. I don't want to spoil too much and ruin a surprise for you guys, but there are a lot of cool areas that can help enhance your character. As you progress through the levels, take note of what spells, gambits, and auras you are picking up. You don't want to just be grabbing everything. That's an easy way to fill the run. Make sure that all of these elements synergize with one another to create a powerful build that will help you take down enemies in the blink of an eye. Trust me, you'll need it. Before fighting the boss, you'll end up going through a rest area known as Andromeda's Bar, run by a very, very beautiful lady. Remember when I mentioned stars and quartz? Well, the Andromeda Bar is where you use them. You use the stars to buy drinks that can increase your health, defense, attack speed, mana, and critical hit rate. Further beyond is a shop where you can buy new spells and gamuts to tweak your build by trading quartz. There are also more secrets to be found in this area that I personally thought were really cool, but that's for you to discover yourself. Once you're done here, you're ready to fight one of the Zodiacs. This game has 4 zones that you have to go through to reach the final boss, and each zone has one of 3 Zodiacs protecting it, which means in each run, you'll fight a different combination of Zodiacs. The Zodiac fights are where I personally think the gameplay of Astral Ascent really shines. Not only are they fun to fight, but they're also very challenging. Each Zodiac has its own personality that is well reflected in its moveset. You'll be jumping around, dodging a lot, looking for the right opportunity to unleash your devastating abilities. Many of these fights remind me of Hollow Knight and Silksong with the way they have me moving. Virgo, one of the zodiacs, is a very fast attacking boss. Not only do you get to keep track of her, but also her attacks that seem like they are coming from everywhere. It seriously feels like I'm fighting Kizaru from One Piece. On the other hand, Leo is a pure powerhouse. Every attack he does tears up the earth. He moves more slowly than Virgo, but when it comes to power, he easily outmatches her. This is just a small taste of how the zodiacs differ from one another, and that's just 2 out of the 12. One thing to note, these runs can be long, at least for me. My average per run was about an hour, but it doesn't really feel that long when you're actually playing. You'll be having way too much fun fighting enemies, getting stronger each run, discovering secrets, and unlocking new things, while also learning more about the garden and its residents. Now, I will admit this game doesn't have the strongest story. Lore in Astral Ascent consists of narrative fragments uncovered through repeated playthroughs, detailing the backstories of the heroes, the 12 Zodiac bosses, and the secret of the Garden Prison. This lore is explored through character dialogues, memories, and NPC interaction, focusing on themes of freedom, redemption, and the character's past trauma. While there is plenty to find, dialogue in this game is very short. You will barely get to learn much from any of the characters, and sometimes nothing at all. I don't mind filler conversation, but with so many characters available to interact with, I would like to know more about their origins and who they are as characters more often. When something major happens, like me taking down a Zodiac for example, I would like all characters to talk about the incredible feat that had just occurred, or something about how we're getting closer to our goal. What I like about Astral Ascent is how fast and responsive the combat in this game is. Everything works as intended, so you're not fighting the controls while trying to unleash crazy combos on foes. There are a lot of spells to pick and choose from, all with unique animations. I have about 25 hours in this game and I'm still unlocking new spells to use on my runs. Thanks to gamuts and auras, there is a ton of stuff to experiment with when it comes to creating builds. With many different attributes to mix and match with, you'll find new builds that at first look like they shouldn't work together, but in the end become a major game changer. The biggest plus for me with this game is that one more run, addictive feeling. I always want to jump back into the fray immediately after a run ends because of how much I'm having fun with the game. I end up doing one run, and the next thing I know, it's been 5 runs later. The game has a lot of unique game mechanics that I haven't even mentioned yet, so if what I mentioned already seems like a lot, trust me, there's more. What I don't like is how cluttered the screen can get. The game kinda suffers from visual clarity. It isn't so bad at the start, but near the end of the run it can get insane. There are flashy spells that will completely cover the whole screen on top of enemies starting their attack, which can consist of spawn projectiles or big attacks that have danger areas. It is especially noticeable during boss fights. There were a few times when I lost track of the boss because so many things were happening at once on the screen. But there is an option to lower the opacity, which helps, but you also lose that satisfying feeling of watching a big attack land. There was also a moment when I failed a run due to not be able to see anything. I lost sight of not only my character, but the boss as well, causing me to take a lethal attack before figuring out where my character was. Another thing I'm not a fan of is the danger areas that appear when an enemy is about to attack. It can be hard to tell what kind of attack the enemy is about to launch. Is it fast? Is it slow? Does it ricochet? Does it home in? Is it proximity? There have been some danger areas that I have dodged out of, only to realize a second later the attack is slow moving, and now I've wasted my dodge and can't get out of the way of another enemy's attack that is either lightning fast or is spawning below me. This issue doesn't pair well with the previously mentioned visual clutter. One last thing. At times, the runs can feel repetitive. I think the mini boss battles and the actual boss battles are amazing, but it takes some time to get to them. Many exploration and fight rooms must be completed before you reach the boss battle, and some are not much of a challenge as you would hope. On occasion, they can feel like filler, just a way to pad out the run so it can last longer. There are some days I don't have it in me to dedicate myself to an hour-long run, with most of it being in those 2 types of rooms. This hurts replayability, and it may turn some off. Nothing is worse than nearing the end of a run, only to make one mistake and lose 40 minutes worth of progress. To summarize, Astral Ascent is a fast-paced 2D roguelite where you change spells into insane combos while experimenting with new builds every run. You choose a hero and fight your way through the garden, an astral prison guarded by powerful bosses called the Zodiacs. The core gameplay loop is simple: clear rooms, collect spells, and build your character as you progress toward each boss. Combat is smooth, fast, and heavily combo driven, with spells, gamuts, and auras creating powerful synergies that can quickly spiral into chaotic, screen-filling attacks. Between runs, you return to a hub where you unlock upgrades, new abilities, and interact with characters, though the story itself feels a bit light. Each run can be lengthy, but that one more run feeling is very real thanks to how fun and rewarding the gameplay is. That said, the game isn't perfect. Visual clutter can make fights hard to read, and some runs can feel a bit repetitive, before reaching the more exciting boss encounters. Overall, Astral Ascent stands out for its fluid combat, deep build variety, and high replayability. If you enjoy roguelites with flashy combat and lots of experimentation, it's absolutely worth checking out. And that's it. Let me know what roguelike I should try next, and if you played Astral Ascent, what is the craziest build you've had? Also, what do you think about the game itself? Like and follow for more roguelike content.